Hello, beautiful souls. This is Vinita Kumar, also known as Twinflameunion, bringing you guys in this week's pep talk and empowerment, soul contracts, and along with that, various questions that some of the collectives asked in my private Facebook group. And I'm just going to actually bulk this all in one topic because a lot of the questions that were asked were based on soul contracts. So we're going to dive deep into this topic. It's something that comes up all the time in a soul's journey. I know that it has personally for mine, and I will actually give you insights on what I have personally found. Of course, there's not many experts on this, but whatever I intuitively found in my journey, I will share those, and hopefully this will actually help you to decide where you are in your soul's journey, whatever that is, whether you're a twin flame or not, it doesn't matter. Everybody has soul contracts, and we're gonna go into it a little bit deeply. I don't have that many articles on this, or nor did I talk about it much because it's still an enigma for myself, but I do have one article that I will link in here that you can actually read through this and try to get a more in-depth knowledge on it. Having said that, for those that are new to this channel, please hit like, share, and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell for any future videos. I have a whole bunch of content in this channel, so you can take a look at what they are and see if anything else will help in your soul's journey. If you want to book any private sessions with me, you can do that directly from my website. Link is in the description box, and also 10% off twinflameunion sales also goes to charity, so you can have a look at all that information as well that I will link in the description. So without further ado, we're going to dive deep into this topic, but before we do, let's hit it. Welcome back. I'm gonna be going over the questions and then I'm gonna dive into my situation. I'll just do that. It's probably gonna be easier because I'm gonna navigate it that way. So we are on the topic of soul contracts, and I know that if you, first and foremost, if you are in a soul's contract, especially if you're on a twin flame journey, know that that is also a form of a soul agreement or a soul contract that you have signed up before you actually incarnated. This is how I understand it in the spiritual journey about soul contracts anyways. Whatever we decided to live out as an experience in this lifetime is a soul contract. So first and foremost, this is what that is. So if you guys didn't know the term, sometimes that's being used in the spiritual community, that's what that is. If you decided to live a twin flame experience before you incarnated, there is nothing that can actually override that. And your higher self, which is the highest version of you, will ensure that with your soul experience and journey experience. I've heard so many stories on, and I don't necessarily agree with some of the things that are being taught, about soul contracts, because in my own dealings with thousands of collectives and just my own, I want to say that when people are talking about overriding their soul contract or their soul agreement, there's only so much that your higher self, which is again the highest version of you, will entertain. You may be able to cut a little bit of I want to say add on to the timeline, not cut, because at the end of the day, you may be able to buy some additional time by, saying that I'm not going to live this twin flame. I'm going to use this as an example, that you don't want to live this twin flame experience and you're going to just put it off. But it actually only allows you to do that so much when your actual higher self will bring you back into the journey. And for those that have been in this journey for long, they will actually testify to you that that is the case, because like I said, I've dealt with so many collectives, and I do listen to everybody. This is my finding that I found just dealing with people. So yeah, it's very, very in alignment when it comes to that. So I want to say that that's what it is, and you can only buy so much time, and then after that, your soul will trigger you to go into your soul's journey. So and that's by giving you experiences and lessons, and it'll be just very, very painful experience, because if you, best is to just go with the flow and not defy your higher self, because your higher self will then make things very, very difficult, and it's not. And then a lot of people will say that, oh, that's just fate, destiny, and they will say that they'll start blaming everything else, the whole universe, is after them and all that sort of thing, and bad fate, bad karma. But I personally kept it very simple as to my understanding on this, and I have found that it was working for me in my own journey. So you'll have to kind of decide how this applies to you, this whole principle, but that's just the way that I kind of navigated it with that idea in mind. So having said that, now there has been debate on this, and whether that is true or not, we still don't know, because what we don't know, we don't know. We only know ourselves. We just know, looking around us, that there's not everybody that is a twin flame living a twin flame experience. So there's a lot of times when there's conflicting information on that. Some people say that, or state that everybody is a twin flame. And that could very well be. We don't know that, because we only can, a lot of us that are more systematic, and the ones that actually look at personally, the realistic aspect of it. You know that from your friends and family, and your people that are around you, then that not everybody is living a twin flame experience. There's only a few that have, right? So and that's the reason why that this is such a specific soul contract, a soul agreement that you have actually signed up for, where you are supposed to live this twin flame experience. And of course, without your beloved, your twin flame, there is no experience, right? So whether you've actually met them in reality, whether you've met them just in 5D, and you haven't met them physically, or some twins that actually have they don't have their twin flame in physical reality, where they are not in embodiment, they've passed away either, or they've never actually, they just connected with them in their higher self on the other side, and they know that it's there. And there's so many different variations on that, right? So what I'm saying is that, it doesn't, if you're dealing with if you're on a twin flame journey, there is a twin flame, and you know it, you're aware of it, whether you've met them in person or not, it doesn't matter. So and that's how this journey will trigger it to get you to do your healing, and to navigate your twin flame journey. And of course, everybody's experiences are slightly different from the other, but the overall experience is to really change your whole healing process to who you are supposed to be on a soul level, and to gain that inner union. So that's the whole process of the twin flame journey. And sometimes people look at it a little bit different, because they think that meeting your twin flame and being with them in a romantic setting is the only goal. And the ones that have actually advanced a little bit into their journey, they are the first ones to tell you that it's all about your inner union process and your soul evolution. And and the outer reality that also shows up as well, where you actually do get union with your twin flame as well. So that's sort of the gist of the soul contracts. Now, for those that and I want to also say that being on a twin flame journey, you will also meet lots of people that will help you along with your journey. Some of them will be in the form of karmic relationships. Some will be on a soul connection, which is a little bit deeper, which is why they are labeled a little bit as soulmates, that sort of thing. And of course, you only have one twin flame, right? So that is the twin flame collectives, right? And I'm only an expert on that. I know that there's tons of people that are not on a twin flame journey, but they are light workers, and they are also trying to lift their the planet's vibration and all that sort of thing. And I think that to an extent, it's not just light workers. I think that there's people that are not light work. I'm mumbling here. I want to say that people that are not light workers, they also do that as well. I think that everybody that is consciously aware of the good and the bad, and they want to make this planet a better place, they all are in the rise to uplift this, this planet into a higher vibration. So I want to say that for first and foremost, because it's not just twin flames, and that's an ego-based conception. And no, it's not just light workers. I want to say that it's actually the whole human race, because there's so many ways that you can do that. And that would be another topic that I'll go into. I haven't done that one yet, but that's in my list to do. So, but yeah, I don't want to stray too much away from this topic that I'm talking about, and that's the soul contract. So yeah, you will meet many that will have different soul contracts, soul agreements, and there is no coincidence with people that you meet and people that you get to know. There's 7+ billion people on this planet, and it's not a coincidence when you are actually born in a certain family. When you actually meet certain people, there's a lot of people, but there's only a group of people that you will actually know and get to know through work, through your social circle, through your family, through your spiritual community, because some people that you will actually get drawn to, because they are the ones that will take you into a further life purpose and mission. So all of that stuff counts, and they are all part of your soul agreement that you actually decided to agree to before you actually incarnated. So yeah, for those that actually do not like your family members, your friends, or people that gave you lessons, and people that didn't that you were in good books with, some of you were in bad books with other people, whatever have you, all the life experiences, I want to say that you actually chose to live that script. I know that that's not something that our ego would like to admit, because but on a soul level, of course, there's no ego, right? It's the only thing that your soul knows is that you need to just do what you signed up for. So yeah, and when it comes to your soul, your higher self, all guides will not interfere. And I know that there's times when we like to know so many things, and there's things that haven't been revealed to us, and we're not supposed to know. And yeah, your higher self will give you false information. That's also the case, I've seen that in my own case many times, where if I'm not meant to know something, it'll give you the information that you actually need to know for that moment. And of course, it's stupid that is the case, but that's just the work of the higher self, and they decide that. So you can you can't blame, things that come on your way that are a little bit on the false side as well, because you were meant to just know it that way. And once you actually start to live it in this kind of principle, you actually see that you don't, you look at each experience as a learning curve and a healing curve, and you move on to bigger and better things. That's sort of like a little bit of law of attraction is, going into this mode. But then again, I want to say that people that actually follow the law of attraction, they also follow these kind of principles, because that's what it is. It's actually, if you're on a soul's journey, you are living a lot of law of attraction experiences, or whatever has been taught around in the community, because there's so many books and stuff like that that talk about the same thing. So it's basically the same idea, and the sooner you actually heal from the experiences, the better it is. And sometimes it takes longer, because, again, it's your ego self that's there, and it's not allowing your higher self to understand the bigger meaning of things. There's always a bigger meaning of everything, and if you're on a soul's journey, you always keep digging into the bigger and better meaning of it, right? And that's what we call going within. And you must have heard that a million times in the community, going within. What does going within means? It's stuff like that. You really get to on a soul's journey, you really get to basically go within and find a lot of answers within you, because the answers are within you as well. So, and that's what a lot of times you will hear people say, but you don't know what the meaning behind that is. So yeah, having said that, I know that a lot of non-twin flames are drawn to this channel. Take what you resonate from what I'm going to be telling you. Some things will make sense to you, some things will not. It doesn't matter whether you are on a soul's journey or not. It doesn't matter, or spiritual journey. Some of these principles that I'm going to talk about, stick around. You never know how this can actually apply. So yeah, so the first question that I want to add here is, can you be extremely attracted to your twin flame? And if so, how can you cut the bond? Sorry, unattracted. So I'm going to rephrase this question. Can you be extremely unattracted to your twin flame? And if so, how can you cut the bond? I want to say, dealing with so many collectives, and just what I understand of the twin flame journey, and this is again going into the soul contract, you can never ever be unattracted to your twin flame in this lifetime. Though I know that many have, I haven't personally found that in my past life work, but that doesn't mean that that's not the case. I have heard from many that have done their past life work, just dealing with twin flames and stuff like that, that your twin flame would have been born as your brother, mother, sister, and all that sort of thing in the previous lifetime. But in this lifetime, because we are on a journey to a fast track ascension process, where we actually we are supposed to be removing a lot of those barriers from past life, and the teachings around it, the healing around it. It's geared only into the romantic setting. Now, having said that, I know that some cultures you are allowed to marry your cousins. Even in today's time, and in that setting, I've actually seen that cousins have been twin flame, because it, again, based on that culture and religion or whatever have you, they are, since they're allowed to marry their their cousins or whatnot, then yeah, it is still in a romantic setting, because they're romantically attracted to each other. So there is no such thing as you being attracted to you not being attracted to a twin flame, because it's set up 100% on a romantic setting, and whatever that is. So I want to say that if you are on a twin flame journey, and you think that this person is your twin flame, and you're unattracted to this person, then you may want to actually do a little bit more soul searching on this connection. You would most likely be able to do a 72-hour test, which is what I always say to everybody to do, because it's a foolproof method of doing the test, and thousands actually around that have done it. They swear by it, because it will authenticate your twin flame connection. There's readers and psychics can only tell you the energy, and they can read a spread and give you the connection energy. That doesn't mean that that would be all 100%. I know that when I was dealing with my catalyst twin, I had so many readings done, and it was hit and miss, because there were only two that that didn't pick up that he was my twin flame, my catalyst, and the rest actually did because of the energy around it, and that's what it is. As for my current twin flame, I didn't come across a reader that couldn't pick out our connection. And I'm very, very guarded when it comes to twin flame, or getting a reading, or having anybody just access our connection like that, because everything is energy at the end of the day. So I pick and choose who I get my healing from and who I get my reading from. But I want to say that I had no experience when it came to my current twin flame where they could not pick up a connection like that. So it just goes to show that it depends on who your reader is, and who you go to, and who is able to pick up a connection like that. But it's better to still do a 72-hour twin flame test. I have said this a million times. If you go back to any of my videos, I personally will never ever do a twin flame test on anybody else, even if I don't get to be with my twin flame, because as you know that if you didn't know, I'm still on a separation with my twin flame, and I would never ever do that, because anybody that is going to come into my life other than my twin flame, it would be obviously a soul connection, because just the way that my journey has come up at this point, of course it'll be a soulmate connection, because I won't just go for after you've done so much healing and you've anchored your inner union, which actually happened a couple of weeks ago. I couldn't believe it, because I thought that I had long ways to go, and I still have long ways to go. Still, I still continue to heal, but it was just nice to know that I achieved my inner union, and and I worked really, really hard for it. I worked 2.5 years. I worked really, really hard, and I gave it all I got. Whatever, and I spent thousands of dollars. Like, I'm talking about in my entire journey, I must have spent 15K. So and was it worth it to spend that money and get where I am at this stage of my life? 100%. And I had really good guides, and I had really good tribe that actually helped me see this process. So it was an amazing experience, and just keep where you are, keep doing you, and the rest will unfold. I saw it last year, a lot of signs and things that were coming up to the inner union process, but of course you don't know till it actually comes into the full circle. So having said that, at this stage of my life, I know that I will never ever attract anybody that is nothing less than a soul connection. So, and I'm not talking about karmics being bad, because I've had karmic relationship. So I know that was a good learning experience as well, because they help you get where you are in your life, and that's what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're not any less special just because they're karmic, because karmic is derived from that word karma. So you're actually living out a lot of your karma through that, right? And you are actually removing a lot of karma cycles and stuff like that. So it's part of the soul growth. And if you keep looking at it this way, then of course you will never ever feel bitter, and you look at it as a wonderful experience and move on, sort of thing. So I want to say that that is not correct. If you are not attracted to your twin flame, then chances are that you're not on your twin flame connection with that person. And the second part of it was that this person asked, how can you cut the bond? You can always cut the bond. You can always cut an energetic cord with anybody other than your twin flame, because your twin flame, you obviously will never ever be able to cut an energetic cord. I don't care how toxic you think that they are. It's not the case. I'm actually writing an article on twin flames and how and why sometimes some collectors think that it is a narcissist. And believe it or not, narcissist personality disorder is an actual medical condition, and it's not behavioral, and it has to be properly diagnosed by the medical science for that to be actually the case. So a lot of people will look at it as some of the behavioral patterns as that. So, but yeah, I'm going to actually dive deep into that into that topic, and I'm actually in the middle of it, researching, and actually asked some of the collectors in the group regarding that situation, and a lot of them, of course, gave me their version of it, and there is their version, and of course there's another version that is the other version, right? So I'll actually dive deep into that topic. I know that some of you are very ardent readers of my blogs. You can actually subscribe to my blogs as well, so you will actually not miss it. So you want to actually even hit that too. Go into my website and just click on any of the blogs and hit subscribe, because you will not miss that article if that's something that you are curious what that looks like. So we've got that out of the way. Now let's dive into the next question. Why twin flame did soul contracts? How to do according to soul contracts. You really wouldn't be able to answer that question, and this is you have to ask your higher self why you actually signed up for it. Because it's our ego that's asking this question. Why did we sign up for this twin flame contract? Why did we agree to live this twin flame experience? It's because you did. And on a soul level, your life was bliss. It's always bliss on the other side. There's no emotions that you live, right? You don't live through ego-based emotions. Everything is amazing on the other side. You don't feel pain, you don't feel sadness, you don't feel any of these things. And the only reason any souls choose to incarnate is to live that experience in a human body, because that's the only way you can actually do that. You can only live through that through that experience. So yeah, it's just the way that you decide to live that experience. And some of the good things that happens, you chose that. Some of the bad things that happen, you chose that as well. On a soul level, it didn't really matter, because you wanted to live out that experience and just experience it. Of course, you will think that, okay, well, there's some really bad trauma happened to me when in my past, and it could be anything as drastic as somebody trying to kill you, or some sort of assault or whatever have you. Those were still experiences that you signed up for. Unfortunately, yes, you took a brunt of it, and you decided to get a very, very heavy experience and survived it. But there's some that don't unfortunately survive it too. It's just that, yeah, it's on a soul level, that's what you did. You decided to live that experience. So and really her second part of the question was how to do according to your soul contract. So basically what she's asking is, how do you live your soul contract? You're actually living it right now. I know that when you start digging deep into your journey and your soul experience and everything else, you actually see that live out the way that it does. So yeah, you're actually living your soul contract as you speak. So that's the simplest answer that I can give you, and how you navigate that is totally your journey experience. Some people will understand that and they will not prolong their twin flame experience and try to fast track the ascension process, as I call it, because I understood that 2.5 years ago when my twin flame decided to, run, and when I realized that he is my twin flame and I need to wake up and figure out what the heck is going on in my life, I decided to go all in, and I didn't give it half effort versus the full effort. I gave it all I got, and I actually really decided to really go into it in every aspect, and just see what was being shown to me. So how do you do according to your soul contract? I want to say that's an individual endeavor, because at the end of the day, how you navigate your twin flame experience and your journey is completely your thing. Somebody in the group asked today, and I didn't understand why you would even ask that question. What was the question that they asked? Are you living a normal life? And I thought that was really funny, because what is normal? You create your own normality, whatever that is, right? You create your heaven on earth, on this earth, however way that you choose it to be. You create your reality. You live a normal life, or you don't live a normal life. That's up to you. You create that, right? There is no way that anybody can create that, and you cannot expect your twin flame to create that. Certainly not, because that's, or any other life partner or anybody else. You create that all it's yours, because up till the time that you are born, till you are an adult, that's usually when you gain your independence. You really find your purpose and life purpose, and have you whatever that is, right? You until then, you may have your parents that will choose your path to an extent, while they're raising you. That's standard. But after that, you're not a child anymore. You're a grown-up adult, and from there, how you navigate your journey, however way that is, that's an individual thing. You'll have to figure that out, right? That's the whole part of living this experience, because that's what it is. It doesn't matter whether you are in a soul contract, you're a twin flame, you're living a soul agreement with something or not. It doesn't really matter. It is what it is. You decide what that looks like to you. So when you simplify things like that, then a lot of your dilemmas of life will be sort of like that as well. So and a lot of you will agree with that, because you actually see your life and you're actually proud of your accomplishments, and your state of thinking, and you're dealing with people and things, and your job, your career, your home life, your children. The list is endless, and that's the beauty of living a human experience. We are a spiritual being living a human experience, and that is the soul contract. So I want to say that that's what that is. So yeah. Okay, so the next question. Walk-ins. The concept that if your twin flame is not fulfilling a mission, the universe will send an energetic equal, although that's impossible. I want to say yes and no to that, because it all again comes back to your soul contract, what you've signed up for. Why cannot when it comes to your mission, right, your mission work, why cannot a universe send you an energetic equal? Why cannot that be the case? I don't see why that wouldn't be the case. A lot of twin flames, they feel that once they are with their beloved doing the twin flame mission, then they will actually, sorry, what I meant is a lot of individuals feel that once they are in physical union with their twin flame and their beloved, then they will actually start their twin flame mission. That you don't really need to do that. And again, not every, and this is another topic that I have to actually go on, which I will actually dive deep into in next topic, but I'll actually just touch it really quickly here based on the question here. Not everybody is going to be a healer and a psychic reader and will do stuff spiritually, because what I want to say is that what you are currently doing could very well be the whole point of serving the earth is providing a service. So you have to look at it this way, and that could be just about anything. Think about it this way: doctors, lawyers, police, immigration officials, customs, landscaper, right? Your hairdresser, your nail salon, all, your barbers, they all provide a service. And think about it for a second, right? Imagine not getting your hair cut for the rest of your life. Imagine how you will look. That's the easiest way that I can tell you, right? Can you imagine if, during this pandemic, and I think that these are the heroes that are out there putting their lives in, not, I won't say in danger, but, putting their lives out there. And, the cashiers at their grocery stores, we still need groceries to, to live, right? And none of that stopped. It's still essential, right? Even in lockdown, right? So how is their job less special? Think about what they have to deal with, right? So next time when you are at a grocery store and, you're dealing with, a customer service rep that's bagging your groceries or charging you or whatever have you, have a light conversation. I always do. Like, I always make them laugh and, get them, I engage them with them in some way, because, it makes their day. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I always do. I found that even their call centers, they're providing as a service, and I always crack jokes even with them, and they just start laughing, and we get sidetracked a little bit, but it just makes their day. Think about it for a second, right? How often do you actually do that, right? It's random strangers that you actually uplift. So I want to say that the mission work is continuously happening, right? I know that in my mission work, I touch so many lives, and it's people that I don't even know. And of course, there's also others that have come back with abuses to me, and I had nothing to do with it. That's another thing, because I have triggered an aspect of them that needed healing. And I always look at things in a very positive light. And of course, when you look after your well-being and your state of being, you don't want to be engaging with people that have toxic energy like that. So of course, you hit block, you remove negative comments and negative things that come your way, because that's part of your self-love. Why do you have to put up with it? You don't need to put up with it. So yeah, the most you can do is just cut off the that energetic cord, right? Between you and somebody that's toxic, that's having a bad day. Another thing I want to say, and this is something that actually my karmic partner explained to me, and I didn't understand that, and now I actually understand it a little bit better. And it was the most valuable advice that he gave during our marriage. Was he said that sometimes you go about and you text somebody with a whole big of rant, and you start bombarding them with things and this and that, and you don't know if the person on the receiver's end, you don't know what kind of day they were having. What gives you the right to go and make their life miserable? or inflict that kind of wound on somebody by, the aspect that you're not healing on something that had triggered you. You don't know what that person had, what kind of day they had, and what makes you or gives you the right to go and ruin anybody's day out of the blue. You just decide to send somebody a very nasty text or a message or whatever have you. And I actually can see that now come out in my personal, mission work, where I'm going about with my day, I have nothing to do with anything. And then sure enough, I get this random message where somebody's just giving it to me. And of course, I have no idea. I have to go back and look and see why they are doing what they're doing. And it's something that has been triggered in the group setting. And some members have said whatever, or my moderators had, corrected some sort of action or whatever have you. There's the 10 groups rule. Sorry, there's 10 group rules there in my group. Have a look at it and see which one you violated. Obviously, you violated something. My moderators will not go and correct somebody out of the blue if you didn't violate that. If you were perfect, not violating the 10 group rules that's there, then you can come back and question why you were corrected. But if you've done anything there that is in those writing, then that's what it is. And my moderators are very, very smart, and they're very, very skilled, and they are very, very much in the high vibe. And because I do not, especially the work that I do, I will not allow anybody that is in a low vibe to be that close to me, because they actually are very, very close to me. I talk to them on a daily basis. They're included in my energy space, so I will never ever choose anybody that's not in that light, because that's what it is. So yeah, and I never question what they do, because they know what they're doing. And that's the thing that I want to say, is that the mission work is forever going. And there is no such thing as you waiting for your twin flame to do your mission work. You can actually start doing your mission work now without them. And as your twin flame, definitely they will support you. And I want to say that my twin flame definitely does. I recently, now of course, that this is where I was going with my my previous question, that I answered there, is that sometimes your higher self will override what you need to know at that time in readings, and even in my own readings, and in my own universal test and all that sort of thing. I had asked whether my twin flame had blocked me completely on WhatsApp and text messages and phone calls, whether he had actually blocked me, and whether any of my messages were going through him. He actually wasn't getting any of those, because knowing the way that I know him now, I want to say that he did block all that aspect, because again, it was something that I was not meant to know. So it was serving my purpose for knowing, that he didn't. He was getting some messages, and actually he wasn't. So, and when he had unblocked me last year, I had sent him the message based on the fact that he may or may have not got all my messages, which he didn't. so I sent it like that, and I actually thanked him for energetically being there for me, which he has all the way. So, and that's the thing, in reality, they could be blocking you and not wanting to do with you, not wanting to have to do anything with you, but because you share this unique bond, and the spiritual connection is so strong, that they are forever always there in energetically supporting you all the way, and they never actually leave your side. So that was something that I thanked him right away. And then I also told him that we were twin flames, and I just told him that he had birthed twin flame union for me, and have whatever have you. So yeah, curiosity got him. Knowing him the way that I know him, he is me on in another body. We have the same personality, we think alike. So yeah, he did his research, and yeah, he's found my work. Now he knows what I do. And did he say anything to it? Did he object? Not really, because like I said, when you are dealing with a true twin flame, and you're dealing with a true soul connection, they will always be supportive of you, whether you are doing it with or without them. And I want to say that he did the entire mission with me and still is doing the entire mission, though not physically present, but he's actually doing it collectively with me, so energetically. And yeah, it's just an ego-based way of thinking that your twin flame is not fulfilling their end, because they are even in mission work. And if your twin flame, and this differs to all people, because again, this is such a general thing. I'm just telling you what has been my case. In fact, my intro, that divine masculine that's there, he's when I was looking for my intro divine masculine, the guy in the gray suit, I shared this with my group, and that is exactly the same suit that my twin flame actually was wearing with the beard. And he's both ways. He wears it beard and without, and it was exactly pretty much that. And of course, I nearly had a heart attack. Thank God that I have a good heart, because yeah, I could not have found a better answer to that would he energetically support me going on YouTube, this publicly, because at the end of the day, I am an Indian, and I it's the culture thing, and I wasn't sure if he would be in agreement with it, or whether his family would be in agreement with it, or whatever have you, because it's a lot, and not everybody likes to to have somebody talk about them this publicly, or if we are supposed to have some sort of outcome in the future, how would he take on to me coming here publicly and talking about the entire mission work sort of thing. So and just being all publicly out there, because yeah, it's as time is going, I'm getting very very much out there, like it's like even on Google. So so yeah, I wanted to know how he would feel about it. But what I'm saying is that yes, it's your twin flame will definitely support you in every way. If he's your true twin flame, then definitely I don't see how they wouldn't, because if that was the case, then the people that have stepped into their mission without their twin flame, how are they doing so well? They are doing well because there is that energetic support, and they'll be the first ones to tell you that. So do not doubt that. That's why it's important to know who your twin flame is, right? And yeah, if you're, and again, the other part to the question was that the universe will send an energetic equal to them, although there's impossible. I want to say that could very well be the case as well. And I always wonder about that myself. Like, if I'm not supposed to be with my twin flame in future, how would this look like to the person that I will end up with? Because I know that at some point there is going to be somebody that I'll end up with, whether that's my twin flame or not. I don't know that answer myself, but how will the other person take on all what I do? Would that person have a problem with it or not? Hard to say, but I'm gonna cross that bridge when the time comes, I guess. It's the best way that I can say. So yeah, cross the bridge when the time comes. If you are on a high soul connection, I want to say that your other perspective will definitely be supportive. And this is why it's very very important to align yourself with somebody that's on a high vibe, and that is on a soul connection. Because if you've worked so hard in your journey, you don't want to just pair up with somebody that's not going to understand this entire process, right? So, and that's really really hard to find, I want to say, because it is a very unique kind of mission work and experience that you're having. So this is why a lot of times anybody that has found anything outside of their connection, it's never 100% fulfilling, because there's always something missing. So am I saying that it's impossible? It's not impossible. Nothing is, right? So you have to just kind of figure out what that is for you. It's such a personal thing, and there's no right or wrong behind that. I've got one more last one here that was asked. Tips on accessing, deciphering, or understanding our individual soul contracts. See, the thing is that this is where I always talk about healing. And when you are doing your inner healing, working with healers, and going deep within and getting your own answers, I want to say that that all comes into a circle. You understand it differently, and there are soul contracts that you also bled from different lifetimes. I know that I've done some massive healing around that, and what I've done is I've actually broke certain vows and certain contracts that I actually had, and there were lots actually, and in my healing process I actually rewrote them as well. In fact, in 2019, I remember I was doing shamanic healing, and I was getting the shamanic healing, and it was one of the best healings that I had ever received. That was a 3-part series, and actually I'm gonna go now into the next part of my healing, and that would be healing the ancestors. I've done bits and pieces of it in my healing, in my own healing with healers. It has shown up, but this is actually just focusing on the ancestrals. So, because anything that your ancestors have brought from previous lifetime or even this lifetime has also seeped through the connection of the womb, and through the womb space, and you just like you inherit like conditions and diseases from your ancestors, be it diabetes or heart conditions or cancer, you know what I mean. If you've inherited, if you can inherit those, or even patterns such as alcoholism and disorders of the mental and all that sort of thing. Like sometimes some things are very hereditary, so if you've actually, if people actually can inherit that, think about all the inheritance that you've gained from your ancestors, and of course your ancestors on the other side are also looking to have all that stuff cleared as well, right, through you. So it's a big part of the healing process. But going back into that shamanic healing that I had actually written a soul contract. And I made it, and again, this is where the law of attraction comes as well, because if I was immature in my journey, I would have just put in my name and my twin flame's name, and just assigned it to a person and and did all that stuff. But because I had known by that time that it is absolutely, you cannot assign any specific name to a person, because you don't have any right to do that. If the person is meant to be with you, there's nothing that's going to stop it. But you can't just go and assign Peter into your soul contract, right? I'm just saying, it's just a random name I picked up, but I'm just saying you cannot do that. So yeah, you can't throw names and stuff like that in your manifestations. You can throw your name as much as you want, but you can't be manifesting things like that. So I knew about that, and I had done a soul contract. I had written a soul agreement. It is sitting in my altar. Like after I wrote it, we tied it, and we did some mystical magic stuff on it, and it was very, very vague. And I did that. We put it in a little scroll. Like, so what we did was, we rolled the paper into a scroll. We tied it with a string. My healer was really good with that, because she does stuff like that. So yeah, she did that, and yeah, I've never ever opened it again. So I put that into my shrine, and it's there. it's never been opened again. And this is why I talk about spiritual altars and stuff like that, or a spiritual space that you should have created if you're on a soul's journey, because you can actually do stuff like that. And it serves so many purposes. So I want to say that you can actually do that, because some things that will come up in your healing process, you can actually try to rewrite. But whether that happens or not, you still do not know, because your higher self is still, again, riding the chariot, not you, and they are your boss, not you. I know it sucks, right? Because we think that we can do anything we want. I think that, to an extent they will allow you, but then after that they will just cut it off, because it's your higher self. There's no point. I stopped arguing with her. I don't like her. I don't like Vinita, the higher self, because she is very cruel. She gives you all these experiences and all that sort of thing, and there's things that I don't agree, because I wish that my ego desires will get met faster, versus me going through this scenic route of that turtle pace of this scenic route that I'm seeing, just like in a movie. But then think about it, right? We if you're watching a movie, can you imagine watching the beginning of it and then you skip the middle part and then you hit to the end? What entertainment did you get? You didn't, right? Because you need to know how this person got from A to B. B is the big part, right? And then the C, the outcome. So I know it's a cheesy way of me explaining it to you, but that's how I get it, right? And the middle part is the part that we don't know, and no one knows that, because it's unknown to us. And the only thing we can do is what Abraham Hicks quote, that I had mentioned in one of the videos, is that to go from A to C, you shouldn't be discrediting the B part. You have to enjoy the B cycle, and enjoy that moment. And as you are going towards C, you should be enjoying the B part of the journey as well, because if you're miserable in the B part of your journey, then by the time you hit C, you're not going to be enjoying the outcome of it. So you got to enjoy every aspect that that is being shown to you. And it gets fun, and there's times when it's not fun, but that's just stuff that you just got to get over and suck it up and deal with it, kind of thing. And I know that I have some miserable moments like that, so I don't like it, but it's what it is, so do you need to be bitter about it? It depends on your consciousness. If you are bitter about things, then there's things that you need to heal, right? So this was my exciting topic on soul contracts, and I know that I haven't written an article on it, but never say never. I always find ways to keep it going for you guys, each topic different from the other. And I try to do that. And if I get enough information or additional information on more things on soul contracts, I want to say that I will write it for sure. I can even attempt it now and just see that if it's actually worth putting it in an article, so I won't totally close that idea on it. I hope that you guys got some insights on this, because in healing sessions, things do come up, soul contracts do come up, and this is why healing is so important when you're doing it one-on-one, because you actually understand soul contracts and agreements and stuff like that show up, and to an extent you can with good intentions rewrite them too, whether they come in fruition or not. Again, that's still a soul contract within a soul contract that's actually written by your higher self, riding the lovely chariot. So yeah, it's this is the way that I look at it, and I don't think that I'm all that wrong, because just the way that I've seen life, the way it has rolled out, I want to say that's what it is. So with that, this was Twin Flame Union. Hope you guys enjoyed what I had to tell you and you got some insights.